today on Two's Company began his professional career working for Virgin Music as a session guitarist. He went on to play with Motorhead, Blue Oyster Cult, Hawkwind and many other rock legends. Now, he's setting stages alight here in Campersol and a little bit further afield. Keeping me company today is Jeff Summers. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, Karen, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, you too?
Yeah, good to see you. Very well, thanks.
Brill. Well, we're going to let all the viewers out there into a few of your little secrets today. I'm hoping that you're going to tell us some things from your past, what you're doing now and everything. But the question that I always ask people that I'm interviewing is, why here, why Campersol?
Why here, why Campersol?
Yeah.
Good question. Deb and I were looking, my wife Deb and I were looking for a holiday home in 2016, around the sort of time. And it took me a while to convince Deb to do it because she wasn't convinced. She likes to go to different places on holiday and stuff, you know. Yeah. So anyway, she looked online and came across Mercer's, and she saw the house that we actually bought in the end.
Yeah.
So that persuaded her to come out to Campersol.
Yeah.
Didn't know anything about Campersol, never heard of it.
Right.
Never heard anything good, never heard anything bad. All we knew that it was in the Merthyr area, which we'd been recommended to us, relatively close to the port. Yeah. So we came down, had a look at the house, and
just as a holiday home at first.
As a holiday home at first, yeah. And then Deb decided that she that was the place, and you know, it's like when the girls make their mind up. So I said, okay, let's do it. So we did.
Brilliant.
We kept it as a holiday home until Brexit, and then obviously we had to make our minds up about whether we want to go residential or otherwise. Yeah. Now we're full time. We've been full time since 2020.
Yeah, I think that's what made the decision for a lot of people. Certainly for us, Brexit made the decision. Yeah. You know, that this is where we wanted to be, and you know, and it's hard leaving your families back home, but with all the new technologies and being able to video call and that, they don't seem that far away. No. And of course they've got great holidays over here.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you probably spend, I'm sure you feel the same as I do, you probably spend more quality time with your family here than you ever did in the UK.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah. Great move, isn't it? Yeah. So of course, we're going to backtrack now right to the very, very beginning of your career. So first of all, before your career began, when did you start playing guitar, and when did you realise that for you music was something that was special?
Well, I come from a musical family. My brothers play, my father was a singer, my cousins and grandparents all love music, all played music. On my dad's side, they're all Irish. So, you know, normal with the get-togethers and that kind of stuff are always fun. Plenty of, well, the usual stuff. And so it was always music in the back of my mind. My dad was a big fan of Rodgers and Hammerstein and the great opera singers and Sinatra and that kind of stuff. And my mum was the same. Yeah. And so that was the start of my education with music, really. And then my oldest brother was a big fan of the Beatles for the 60s, older than me, so he grew up through the 60s. Yeah. So in the house, it was constant music. Yeah. And but my thing was football. I played football to quite a high level when I was a kid. Yeah. And I got a bit of an injury when I was about 14, so it put me out for a while with my knee, and I decided that I'd like to explore the guitar. It was in the back of my mind. My brothers wouldn't let me play wouldn't let me even touch it.
Oh, so you hadn't picked one up before then?
No, hadn't picked one up at all. And it was almost a case of don't even point at that guitar. You know, big brothers, you know, because obviously they'd spent a lot of money on Les Pauls and Fenders and stuff. So so I persuaded my mum to get me a guitar for my birthday. And I just took off, and that was all encompassing. I forgot football and everything from that point. Yeah. So that's where it started. Yeah.
So going from that, obviously you did a lot of playing. You probably played with your brothers, etc. So from there, what was your first? When I say professional, I mean I'm talking, say, like time that you actually stood on a stage and you performed in front of people.
School friend's brother's wedding.
Yeah.
And I can remember the set. We played about 4 songs. We played House of the Rising Sun. Yeah. I Love Rock and Roll, Shawady Waddy. Yeah. Slade's Come On, Feel the Noise. It was that era.
Yeah, 70s.
You know, that kind of era, that's right, yeah. And another rock and roll song, I can't remember what it was. Yeah. But that was the first time. And of course, you know, the first time is always a buzz. And you play terrible because you're so nervous. Yeah. And but yeah, that was the very first time that I actually played on stage.
Yeah, brilliant. And that obviously gave you the buzz to carry on.
Yeah.
So did you carry on as a solo then, or did you go into a band? Did you?
It was always mainly a band initially, playing the pubs and clubs in London. The band, that particular band formed from my school band, which was called Fast Relief. Terrible name, but that's what we thought was funny.
Yeah.
And then we played all the big pubs and clubs in London, the Marquee, the Greyhound, the famous places. You know,
Yes.
we took it up to that sort of level.
Yeah.
And then. And so I don't know how many gigs we played, many of them, and it was mainly my songs at that point, because that's always been my main thing.
So you wrote the songs, yeah.
So
and you was playing your music.
Yeah, playing my music with occasional sort of rock classic thrown in.
Yeah.
And so we about, I think it was 1979, 1980. I was offered a publishing deal for my songs, and the guys in the band were all very much up for it. That was with Virgin Music Publishing.
Oh, right, okay.
And Richard Branson's company, and so we decided that we'd take it, but the publishing company said that our rhythm section wasn't strong enough, a bass player and drummer, which is a wrench for me because they were my schoolmates. So we had to replace them with two others, which we did, and they were brilliant players, great session players. They played, with really big bands and everything. And then from that point onwards, we were offered to go on tour with Motorhead.
Oh,
in
fabulous.
support of their the Ace of Spades tour, which was their biggest album, and it was a huge tour, absolutely massive.
I can imagine,
4 nights at all the major theatres around the country, and that was a real eye opener because I'd only really sort of played bars and clubs at that point.
Yeah.
And in support of that, the Virgin Music Publishing and the recording side put us in the studio quickly to go in before the tour to get the record out.
Yeah.
So we went in and we recorded a whole album, and they put a single out, a double A-sided single. One of the songs was called Set the Stage Alight. It was a very fast, frantic, heavy rock song.
Yeah.
And people say it was the first ever sort of thrash metal song.
Yes.
It wasn't really. It's actually very melodic if you listen to it, but it's really fast. I mean, it really. And when you're 19 years of age, that's what you want to do. You want to do everything.
Brilliant.
You want to do everything fast, And so that particular song was number 2 in the heavy rock charts in the UK,
Fabulous.
in various parts of Europe and Japan, and went out on import into America and was picked up by a young guy called Lars Ulrich, who is the drummer of Metallica. And but Metallica at that time were a couple of years younger than us, and were just starting out.
Yeah.
Now I didn't know any of this. It's later on I found out about this. And Metallica used to open their shows with my song.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they used to open.
Fabulous.
Yeah, and they got a record deal on that song.
Brilliant.
And the record company said, "Who wrote this song?"
Yeah.
And they said, "Some young English kid." They said, "Well, you didn't write it?" And they said, "No." And they said, "Oh, well, you're going to have to change the name. You're going to have to do something." So the bottom line is they recorded the song.
Yeah.
They changed little aspects of it. Even the intro, everything's all the same. The riff, the intro is all the same. And they recorded it and put it out.
As theirs?
As theirs,
right.
yeah, as theirs.
That's
Didn't give me any
naughty.
credit at all.
No.
I didn't know any of this.
Yeah.
And 3 years later, I was playing in London, and the previous night, sorry if I'm going on.
No, it's all right. This is what we want to know. It's really interesting.
The previous night, I'd done a session on the Friday Rock Show with Tommy Vance on Radio 1, and it was a live session on there, and they'd heard the session, and they'd heard that the band I was playing in was playing in London that night, so they came along to the gig, and our support band didn't show up. They were stuck somewhere on the M1 or something. So we thought, okay, we're no support band. That happens occasionally, and that's it. And suddenly these 2 young kids came up to me. One was Lars Ulrich, the drummer from Metallica, and one was James Hetfield, the singer and guitar player from Metallica. And they said, "We heard you on the radio last night." "Oh, okay, great. Did you enjoy it?" I said, "Yeah, it was really, really good." Then they asked me about my past, and they said, "Are you Jeff Summers?" And I said, "Yeah." They said, "We recorded your song." And I said, "Did you?" And they said, yeah, we could. And again, it didn't really register because at that time Metallica were only kind of on the up. They weren't, 300 million selling band they are now.
Yeah.
And so it didn't really. And I thought, well, okay, what's it? Because other people had recorded it at the time, and I didn't realise. And so it was only later on when somebody, about 6 months later, somebody sent me an audio file of it, and I went, what? Plagiarism in its maximum. So that's kind of bringing you up to the point where I was playing in the band Weapon, who'd supported Motorhead, and I'd gone out on tour, and then we're doing our own tours and everything after, and that kind of thing. That was pretty much the end of that era, if you like. That era was what they called the new wave of British heavy metal. It was after punk. And the bands that came from that era were Iron Maiden, Def Leppard.
Which I remember because I was a biker when I was like 18, 19. So we went to all the places like in Manchester, like Gillies, which was an underground rock club.
I remember it.
Did a little bit of headbanging,
I think I played it. It must have been one of the, probably 81. I think I played that.
And I was actually going out with the singer and the keyboard player from a rock band called Do Desire at the time, which were very, very big in the Manchester area. So but then he dumped me. Never mind. Look what he's missed out on. Look what he's missed out on. Hey up. So did you ever get recognition for that song?
Have now.
Yes.
And it's interesting because I couldn't really do a great deal about it because they're a huge corporation. They're immensely wealthy. They collect priceless paintings and put them in a I mean they're if not billionaires, certainly multi-millionaires. And so I was approached by a lawyer who'd seen on YouTube where fans had done the comparison between the two songs. So they put the same keys and everything, switches to one. Is that switched? Obviously a slightly different sound. And he approached me. He said, "Have you thought about suing them for it?" And I said, "Blimey, I have to sue in somebody. I don't know why I get involved in that. He said, "Well, at least sue to get credit for writing it." Anyway, the bottom line is he investigated it, and they're from California. And California law is that if you take somebody to court, you pay for it. So I said, okay, so I take them to court and I've got to pay for it? He said, yeah. I said, well, what are we talking about? He said, well, the initial costs are going to be about $5 million.
Oh. Yeah, I'll just get that out of my pocket.
So I went, no. So I just left it. And hoped that at least one day they'd kind of, they did admit it in their book. They had there's a biography, and they said, but they didn't mention me personally. They mentioned the band, which was Weapon, who recorded the song at that time, and didn't really get any credit for it. But so be it.
So you played with an awful lot of big name bands, haven't you?
I have,
over the year. Who was let's just say the favourite of yours that if somebody said to you, who's the best band that you've ever played with, who would spring to mind?
It's difficult because sometimes you play on festivals, big, like Monsters of Rock festivals in Europe, which I did, and some of the bands at the top are Ozzy Osbourne, Deep Purple, Whitesnake, Def Leppard, all those guys. So you get to meet them. Probably in terms of close to the top of the bill, Sweden Rock is a real big one in Europe. It's about 75,000 people. It's bigger than some of the big festivals in the UK, the pop festivals. And so Ronnie James Dio was a singer from Rainbow, and Black Sabbath after Ozzy, Motley Crue, and Status Quo.
Yeah, I love Status Quo.
And
people say to me, three-chord wonder. I don't care. I love them.
Well, they're actually much cleverer than people give them credit for.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, even as a musician, I used to write them off.
Yeah.
But when you actually sit down and work out what they do, they're very clever. And there's definitely more than 3 chords in there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But I absolutely used to love them. They were my favourite band at that time, years and years ago, when I was I was into that music.
Yeah.
So going back to Ozzy Osbourne, because obviously he's just recently passed away. So have you sat and chilled with him and what sort of a guy was he?
Absolutely hilarious, kind and thoughtful. That's the only thing. But very quick to in his own special way,
Yeah.
criticise you, take the P,
Yeah.
and get away with it.
Yeah.
You know, they're very, very quick-witted. A good story, Monsters of Rock Festival at Castle Donington in 1986, and Ozzy was in the backstage area on his throne.
Yeah.
Interestingly, I mean, he could walk perfectly in those
Yeah,
days,
yeah.
but Sharon used to do that, and it was almost a kind of like you'd be holding court, you know. So I was at the bar with my good friend and drummer who I played with for many, many years, Bruce Bisland, as a Scotsman, fantastic drummer. And at the bar was Rick Mail and Eddie Edmondson.
Oh, right, yeah.
So the Young Ones was really, you know, the thing.
Popular at that
very,
time.
Very
Yeah,
much
yeah,
so.
yeah.
Everybody loved the Young Ones. And so we, you know, they got their call over, you know, and so myself and Bruce and Rick and Eddie and Ozzy were talking for a good 45 minutes. But the interesting thing is, my friend Bruce, the drummer, was the funniest guy there. It was really, and they're making notes as he's with his little lines and that kind of stuff. And Ozzy absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
And then they got the call, you know, Ozzy, come on, that's it. You know, you've got to go, sort of thing. You know. Yeah. So that's as close as I got to him. But that was, it's something you don't forget, really. You know.
Yeah.
A very special character. Did
you ever feel intimidated by any of them?
The only person I felt intimidated was my personal favourite guitar player, which is Richie Blackmore, the guitar player from Deep Purple and Rainbow. And, you know, I think he was 10, 15 years ahead of his time. Yeah. Unbelievable guitar player. Even now I look back and go, how did he do it? 20 years of age, playing like that. And so I met him at the Marquee before my career really took off. Yes. This would have been about 78, something like that. He was at the Marquee checking out a bass player, and I was at the Marquee watching my friend's band playing. Yeah. I was supporting my friend's band, just watching, you know, giving them. And suddenly the word was whispered everywhere. Richie Blackmore's here, you know. Yeah. And at that time, you know, Deep Purple, probably the biggest band in the world. And so it was a big thing. But he wasn't a big entourage or anything like that. He just was with a friend, you know, and he's quite a shy guy, you know, and that kind of stuff, dressed in black, as in the man in black, as they call him. And I'm looking around, Richie Blackmore, where, you know. Finally saw him, and I just thought, oh my God. I haven't got the guts to talk to the guy, you know, because he meant so much to me at the time. And but eventually I got the gumption and went over him and stuttered, you know, you're the best guitarist in the world, or whatever, you know. And that guitar. Yeah. And he was very kind and very nice, although people say that he's very prickly character. But he was certainly very nice to me. He must have sensed that I'm young and, you know, trying to play like him or whatever. I don't know, you know. But yeah. Brilliant. So that for me. And you know, you get to meet all sorts of people, like James Hunt, the racing driver, you know, and actors, and you know, they're all in. They love the music business, you know. So you kind of run into them. Yeah. I recorded an album in 1984 in Shepperton Studios, and my guitar gear was set up in the Hammer House of Horror haunted church. Yeah. So I was in there on my own playing the solos, and all the cables went back to the Rolling Stones mobile unit. Oh, right. So they were recording everything back to there while I was in there. And of course, you know, you're going into getting your lunch and your stuff, and they were recording Superman there at the time. So you know, Christopher Reeve and you know, and all these, you know, carry-on actors and English actors, Roger Moore, and you know, so you don't necessarily meet these people, but you're in their company, and the conversation just, they presume that, you know, you're part of the business, you know. They didn't know who I was, you know, but so was there any famous actors that you actually sat down with and had your lunch with, or, you know, that you met? And no, not actors. No, not really. Not really. No.
Yeah. They were just in your company. Just
there may have been. Yeah. You know, it's really weird because, you know, those parties and that. I mean, I spent a lot of time with Brian May. I mean, Brian May's not an actor. He's obviously Queen's guitar player. And I used to get invited to a lot of opening ceremonies in those days, but they'd invite everybody, you know. Yes. So, and you'd get there. Sky TV would do that kind of stuff. We were all interviewed on Sky TV that year, and Brian was there, and you know, and he was having, everybody was taking his photograph, and he called me over, put his arm around me, and the keyboard player from the band, and we had, you know, we were in the middle pages of Kerrang or whatever at that time, and that kind of thing, you know. Yeah. And James Hunt maybe more. I played pool with him a few times down the local pub. He died a few years later, you know, a heart attack, I think, but yeah. But he was
So
quite a
going
character.
back to Queen, did you ever meet Freddie?
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
Met Freddie, yeah.
What was he
yeah.
like?
Well, didn't really get a chance to talk to him properly.
Yeah.
You know, well, if at all really, other than the nod sort of thing. But
Yeah, yeah.
you could tell everybody loved the guy, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, parties he put on and that kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, so yeah, not so much because music and acting it crosses over, but not a great deal. You know, you've got to, if I was a sort of a really well known musician, I guess I would have met a lot more people than I
Yeah.
did. But you know, certainly crossed paths with them. You know.
Yeah. So very, very interesting. So as you're coming out of all this, then
Yeah.
you're beginning to settle down and think, right, well, there's
Yeah.
things I want to do now in the future, and obviously you've moved over here. And being a musician, I know exactly where you're at. Yeah, you can't just stop your music. It's
No.
in you. It's
Yeah.
it's just part of your being, isn't it?
Yeah.
So obviously you come over here, you're approaching people, and the next minute, hey, it's Jeff Summers. He's here. He's there. He's he's everywhere.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now, when you first come over here, as far as I know, I think you started off in a band, didn't you? Did you put a band together?
Yeah, I think. Well, you remember the Blues House in Bonnuevo?
Yes.
Right. Well, there was a band called the Streeters around at the time.
That's right. I remember them. Yeah.
And the bass player in the band recognised me and has got some of my albums. And he asked me to get up and play. Would I play? And I said, yeah, why not? You know, I was actually at that time kind of on holiday looking for the house and that kind of thing. So I got up and played with them. So I played some blues and some standards and that kind of thing, you know. And then we went home. And then when I came back, the bass player said, do you want to play while you're out here? And I said, well, I can, but I'm backwards and forwards at the time, you know.
Yeah.
And he was playing with a band that had a female singer called Maria Moes. She's a Spanish girl,
Yeah.
and obviously from the name and that kind of stuff. So I said, okay, well, yeah, send me a set list, and you know, I'll come down. So I did. So I did that for probably about a year on and off, but there were occasions where I couldn't do it because I'd go home.
Yes.
So she had another guitarist who'd slot in when I couldn't do it, and then when I did finally come back. And stay here, I realised quite quickly the distances were a bit too, because she lived in Elche,
Oh, right,
and she was
okay.
playing over there a lot, you know,
Yeah.
and most of them were over there. So I thought, I need to do something a bit more local, really. So I got a phone call from John Hutchinson,
Yes.
and he was playing with the Exiles at the time. And he said, would you come down and step in? Because my guitar player's going home for, I said, how many gigs? He said 9. I said, oh, okay. In a period of 2 weeks or something, you know.
Yeah.
So again, he sent me the set list, and I kind of stepped in, did that for a while.
Yeah.
And then that stopped. I think the guitarist came back or whatever. And then I met another local musician, Matt Nielsen, bass player, and he wanted to put something together initially with Byron. And so I went down, had a chat with him and everything, but that wasn't working out for whatever reason. And then Matt said to me, why don't we put something together? So I said, okay. So I called John.
Yeah.
And then he brought the drummer Jamie in, and then the band Glam Jam was formed.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
that's the band that I remember you from more than anything.
Yeah.
You know, so what a great band and great music as well. You know.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, it seemed to be an opening for that. You know, that nobody was playing sort of glam rock era.
No.
Whereas the majority of us over here are sort of around the 60s and that kind of stuff. So we all remember that era,
yeah,
don't we?
of course, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, and I think that lasted for maybe a couple of years.
Yeah.
Somewhere along those sort of lines.
Yeah. And then you moved away from that,
Yeah.
and you formed your trio, which is great.
Yep, yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I mean, I remember going down to the port. I think it was what
La
used to be
La
called
Vista when you came down with your friend.
Yeah, with my friend
Yeah.
Michelle, and she said, "Oh my
Yeah.
God, they're absolutely awesome."
Oh.
Yeah. So, well, she loves that sort of music anyway, Michelle. So,
Yeah.
that was great. We had a really good day that day, and it was nice to sit. It was nice for me as an entertainer to sit and watch somebody else do it for a change, because we don't often get that chance, do we? Because
That's
we're
right.
busy working and stuff, you know. So
yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
Well, that's J3,
yes,
and J3 is still an ongoing concern. Very busy band.
yeah,
And the bass player is the guy I initially met, Maiden, big guy with a beard and a bald head, total character, fantastic musician,
yeah,
incredible really. And his cousin on drums, his name's Javi,
Right.
and again, brilliant, really I mean, I played with some good ones. I mean, he really is very, very good.
Yeah.
And so J3's a very successful band. We've got 3 on again this week.
Yeah.
It's normally between 3 and 5 every week.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm slowing down now.
No, I know,
enough.
yeah. Well,
I haven't had enough. I just want, I want a little bit more time for me.
Absolutely,
You
yeah.
know, I've done it for long enough now, and I'm still going to be out there doing it, but not as often as I'd like to be. So, are you still writing songs?
I am, yeah. I had 2 singles released last year by others. One was a song that I wrote called Alamein.
Right.
It was a peace song,
Yeah.
you know, not about the Battle of Alamein. It was kind of like a hope for peace, if you like, to a certain degree. You know, it's a ballad, and it was picked up by a lovely lady called Inka, great singer. She's Finnish, and she sang the whole thing in Finnish,
Yes.
in English too.
Yeah.
She's a dance singer, diva. Very, very big in Germany.
Yeah.
And she does a lot of that kind of stuff, but she loves her ballads. Her father was a big star in Finland and in Scandinavia in the 60s.
Yeah.
And so she did that. It's a song called Alamein.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube, it's on Spotify, it's on everything.
I'll look that
doing
up,
doing
yeah.
really, really well.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, that's good for her and for you as well.
And for me
of
as
course,
well,
of course,
yeah. And she's such a lovely lady, you know. It's I'm so glad she sang it. The thing is that the backing track that she used was a backing track that I'd recorded with the band Weapon 2 or 3 years earlier, but brilliantly recorded. And it was, the producer was a guy called Andy Riley in America, and he produced Bon Jovi. So I mean, it's really good quality recording.
Yeah.
So she went to try and record it. She said, I can't get that level of performance, you know. And she said, would you mind if we use your backing track? So I said, well, yeah, okay. And anyway, so she did that, but sang it. And I thought, how's she going to sing it? I mean, it's high enough. But, you know, anyway, she did and did a fantastic job.
Brilliant.
And then that got picked up by a German, what would you call him? Sort of Ibiza style sort of producer. Oh God, I can't remember his name now. And he re-recorded it completely with acoustic guitars and atmospheric stuff, but used her vocal.
Yeah,
and that's now
brilliant.
being played in all the clubs in Ibiza.
Fabulous. There you go, you see. So obviously you're over here with Deb now, and you're living your life, you're living your dream sort of thing, and Deb's still loving it.
Yeah, she's still loving it, still loving it, and she misses the kids badly.
We all do, don't we?
Yeah.
But you know, it's lovely. It's so lovely when you get a chance to meet up with them either over there or here, or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, but
yeah.
Right.
Well, they, as you say, they come out and, you know, we do video calls with them. Kids are funny on video calls, aren't they? They don't quite understand the concept.
No.
They run around the room and everything and sort of like shout stuff, and then they just wander
come
off
here,
and
I want to speak to you.
Eat a sandwich, you know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I get that with mine, you know. But it's just lovely that you can have that contact with them still, and it doesn't feel like they're 2 million miles away, does it? When
that's right.
When you do that.
Yeah.
So what's the future got a hold in place for you,
Well,
Jeff? Are you still looking towards that music thing, or are you looking more to chilling, or?
It's kind of with the guitar playing. I mean, I just pick up the guitar every day.
Yeah.
It's because I'm a lead player. You know, things like people don't realise timing's really important. You know, keeping the calluses in place, keeping the flexibility. You know, you're learning constantly as a musician. Constantly, you think you know everything, and then you hear something, you go wow, and then you know there's that aspect of it. I'm singing more now than I used to, because I always used to prefer to have a lead singer, not a singer guitar player.
Yeah.
So, and I've played with some amazing lead singers, really fantastic lead singers. You know the guy, have you seen that band Keen?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
with Diego, I've gigged with him.
Ah, right.
He's got a fantastic voice,
Yeah.
really endless. I mean, you know, it's so powerful, but he's a great balladeer as well. He's really unusual from that perspective.
Yeah.
So singing kind of came naturally. I did that as a kid with my dad and that, you know, but it wasn't my ambition. The ambition was to play guitar and to write songs.
Yeah.
And so now it's J3. And very happy in J3.
Brilliant.
I do step in occasionally for other bands, and I've got my acoustic gig that I play sort of locally more than anything else as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's just me and my acoustic guitar,
Yeah.
and you know, it's a nice challenge because it's stripped right down. And
I
that's
get that. Yeah, yeah. But it's also nice to play with a band, isn't it? When I was in the Motown trio with my sister and my daughter, it's just lovely to do the harmonies and it's the buzz that you get from working with them as well. You know, the bands are on stage and things like that.
But it becomes your second family.
Yeah.
You know, it's you feel most at home. You know, obviously when you're at home and when you work well with your partner and your kids and stuff. But when you're in a family, you know, you just know each other so well. You know, the sort of jokes and musicality and you know the camaraderie. And the two Spanish guys in J3, I mean, they're just so warm and caring. They're lovely guys. They really are.
Yeah. So I'm gathering that your Spanish is coming on leaps and bounds then.
Sí, señorita.
Oh, señorita. Not señora, thank you. So anyway, Jeff, honestly, it's been an absolutely a treat listening to all these stories, and because people don't know these things about you, so it's been lovely.
No,
not just for me, but all the people out there as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know.
Well,
so
thanks for the opportunity to tell my
it's
story.
great. Thank you very much for coming along.
You're most welcome.
And thank you to you out there as well for watching Two's Company. Now, we're back at the same time next week in someone else's company. Now, I hope that you can join us. So from me, Carolyn May, thank you very much. See you soon. And thanks, Jeff.
You're most welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.